So many of us are aware of the Orient Bambino. It's commonly just maybe classified as the best or maybe best value for money mechanical watch on the entire market, or close to that. And I won't argue it. It was a gateway watch for me into getting into mechanical watches a little bit more, and I gifted it to my brother and helped him get into the hobby a little bit further. But this new watch here that we have from Orient, the Orient Maestro, has something to say about maybe taking the crown from the Orient Bambino. But let's jump into the review here. Alright guys, so I'll probably give this watch away at some point. I'm having a little bit too much fun with it right now, so before I do that, just follow me on Instagram. I'll probably post updates about it being given away, so if you want to stay up to date, follow me there. But this Maestro line here is a new model from Orient, being introduced just in the past couple months in the US market. The line features 3 different variations, so one with a black dial, a blue dial, both coming with stainless steel hands, and then a white dial with painted blue hands. The latter being the model that I have here in my possession today. So first, this watch at a glance. Case size of 40 millimeters, case thickness of 11.9 millimeters. Lug to lug, we're looking at 46.1 millimeters. And I ran a few tests and honestly find it might even wear a little bit more compact than that. Water resistance of 100 meters. Movement is an automatic Orient F6722. Lug width 20 millimeters. Crystal here, we're looking at a mineral crystal on the front and the back, and then a price range of $150 to $175 depending on which model you go for. Okay, so let's just address this first. This watch has many similar design cues as later generations of the Orient Bambino, a watch again that was a gateway for me and I know many others. However, I think that this watch here is even more versatile than the Bambino. But looking at the dial here, I noticed how I just released a video of another watch with a very similar breakdown of a white dial and blue hands with a review of my brother's Sarks 033. Link in the description if you've not seen that video. But I find many of the same enduring qualities on display here with this watch. Of course, not the same level of finish, but for a watch that is 5 times less expensive, hey, there's plenty to be excited about when looking at this watch. When looking at the dial, the watch features Orient written in their traditional typography, adorned by the regal-looking Orient logo marked at the 12 o'clock that features the red outlined O held up by small griffins. A logo that now that I'm saying all this out loud, I never really cared to admire really what it is, but I think it is an underlying reason for many people thinking that these watches look much more expensive than they actually are. At the outskirts of the dial, we have blue applied hour markings that rise nicely from the dial and are nicely distinguished from the standard minute track around the outside of this dial. Apart from that, we have a date window at the 3, nothing crazy here, but overall we do not have much going on, and for someone who likes a simple look, and for the versatility point that I'm sure Orient was going for this watch, a point that will become even more clear when looking at the other specs of this model, especially with the case, I think this is something that's even more okay with me. As the moment I saw these watches, they instantly became one of my favorite looking watches from the brand, and remind me greatly again of that maybe Generation 5 Orient Bambinos. The watch has matching blue dolphin hands at the center that are certainly slim, but are easy to read and really do play off the white dial very well. The dial I would say is a true white, but with a slight sunburst effect, a visual component that only becomes apparent upon putting the watch in certain lighting condition, and I think does make the dial really draw the eyes in a bit more. The case of this watch has many standard or expected features, I would say, as well as having a few unique aspects about it and differentiators when you're looking at the Orient Bambino. First, the stainless steel case coming in at 40 millimeters in diameter and have a lug to lug of 46.1 millimeters. However, I found the lug to lug was even a bit less in a few different measurements that I did, but very wearable watch regardless in that regard. The watch also comes with stainless steel bracelet, pin and collar adjustable here, so easy to change. However, like many bracelets at this particular range and price, just a bit underwhelming, particularly at the clasp. Didn't really find it very secure. In my opinion, I would switch it out for maybe a leather strap or a third-party metal bracelet, maybe one from Baldassarre.com, depending on the lifestyle that you have. That said, what makes this a bit more of a tougher choice here is that unlike the Bambino, you have something else at your disposal here with this watch. 100 meters of water resistance. So in other words, we're getting a much more versatile watch, and it might call for a metal bracelet in order for this watch to get wet, because I don't know how much I would like a NATO on this watch, unless you're just going for something that's very maybe controlled, like a black, a brown, or a gray. And even then, I would swap it right back to something after you're done with your water activities. In addition, 2 other steps up here from the Bambino is that we have 20 millimeters here with lug width, unlike the 21 millimeters of many of the Bambinos, and the opportunity to actually see the movement through the exhibition case back. Something that might be a cool feature, as I assume many buying this watch might be purchasing this as their first automatic, and seeing a mechanical movement in action is something you might not be as familiar with. For the movement here, we have an automatic Orient F6722, a movement that was inside my Orient Bambino Generation 2 version 2 that I previously owned. This movement is an in-house automatic movement operating at 3 Hz, 21,600 vibrations per hour, and features a 40-hour power reserve. In addition, for these movements, they are hand winding and hacking, which when compared to that of offerings of similar brands, maybe like Seiko with their 7S26 movements that are commonly being inside many of the Seiko 5s, of course, we're getting a nice upgrade here, as those movements don't hack or hand wind. So in my time with this watch, I couldn't help, and I know I've been alluding to the Orient Bambino throughout, but I think it all comes through mentioning, because I get asked the question, Teddy, what is the best mechanical watch to start a collection with? And Bambino is one of the first or maybe on the short list of watches to always mention. But with this watch coming in here with a 40 millimeter case, very wearable, 100 meters of water resistance, a much more versatile 20 millimeters when it comes to straps. I mean, this is a great watch here. And I think it actually, for me, is going to take the crown for a watch that I'm gonna mention more frequently for maybe the best starting point for a collection, maybe for an everyday watch, because you're getting up specs here. You're also getting that same kind of elegant look that comes with a lot of the Bambinos, and I would maybe argue in some cases, maybe it looks even more elegant, especially when maybe you put it on a leather strap, for example. But a great watch here. I think the only thing that you can probably put in the Bambino's corner is the fact that it has just way more variety given the many generations and variations that you have to choose from. But this Orient Maestro is now a watch that I think many more people need to consider, and hopefully after this video, more people will. So guys, what do you think of this watch? Love to see comments down below and how this maybe stacks up to the Bambinos. I think there's a lot to like here. But also give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, and hit that bell icon. If you want me to do some more reviews of maybe some affordable watches that maybe I haven't touched on before, leave comments down as well. I would always like to see what you guys want to see reviewed on the channel. Also, if you want to get an iconic watch for yourself, you gotta head over to Bob's Watches, link in the description. Any purchase supports us and what we're doing here, as well as going over to teddybaldassarre.com. Maybe you wanna switch out for maybe that third-party strap like I was talking about. Go there, we have plenty of different options to choose from. I had a few different variations I was playing on this, and they all look pretty great to me. And then finally, if you want to stay up to date with the watch giveaway, fill out that watch giveaway form and then follow me on Instagram. For this particular model, I'll probably make an announcement there in terms of giving this away, so definitely be following me there if you want to stay up to date. So guys, thank you again so much for watching. Be well, and I will see you all very soon.